What's up, everyone? I'm your host Dom, and welcome to another episode of Minionland Minecraft. Alright guys, guess what? This is not my area. In fact, this is an area you guys should probably recognize by now. This is actually Walkuria, Lert's kingdom. We've been asked to fill in this plot. The thing is, this area, this corner of the kingdom, has been empty for quite some time, and even though he's asked others to fill it in with some type of build, nobody's really stepped up to it. So I said, you know what? This may be a good opportunity for us to kind of step away from the Commonwealth and maybe try a different style of build. Now, so far, I have just laid down our foundation, and I gotta say, I'm actually kind of excited to build this. I've never built in this style at all. So that's it's kind of interesting, I guess. So what I've done is I've put these posts down, and between each post is roughly about it's actually 5 blocks. But what I'm kind of thinking about doing is putting down on the inside instead of on top of this upside down stairs. That way it gives a little bit of depth. My problem with that is if I do that on this side as well, we now have a very narrow foyer. So it's either inside or outside, But you know what? This actually works. This is actually quite fine. What are you going to possibly use for a foyer? Well, you know, just a quick little entryway. We'll close this off, make it a nice little small room. It'll be a proper foyer. But before I actually start laying blocks down, let's clean this up a bit. What I'm thinking about doing is actually maybe laying down blocks vertically. So, actually, maybe not like this. So, kind of something like that. We'll do the same thing on this side. That way, if we step around to the other side, we can kind of see what that is starting to look like. And I actually like the way that looks. It doesn't look that bad. So if I do that over here, and right here, you can kind of take a look at this corner. And that's looking kind of cool. Then, of course, behind the scenes, we can basically put down anything to make, you know, that look nice. It gives a little bit of interior separation. The logs now stay on the outside, just like that. And it kind of, since we're using mods, the logs are round, and it kind of covers up the gap behind it. So that actually looks really, really nice for us. I think some of the other minions may not be using this mod, but regardless, it'll still kind of give that same kind of color difference, which I think is actually quite nice. Now the question is, what do we apply for the bottom? Alright, so I think we kind of have a design then. So I think we'll do this. Oh, whoops. And what I meant to do, actually, you know what? Since I don't have to keep climbing, we're just gonna have to do that. That way I can kind of do this and this. And that gives us space to do like a 3x2 window, which I'm planning. Okay, kind of mimics my neighbors a bit. I don't know if I'm going to like seeing into my neighbor's place. But this will go here, here. And by the way, all of these supplies are courtesy of Lert. He's letting us use his storage room, and I'm hoping he doesn't regret it. But he said, here's the storage room. Go ahead, use whatever you need to. And that's pretty amazing of him. But there is a reason we are using bone right now. And that's not going to be apparent until very later. So we're going to build some more stone blocks here. We actually have to start kind of filling up the gaps here. It's just kind of starting to come together just a bit. Now there's not going to be stone there. That's going to be an interesting corner. You know what, guys? Is stone the right material to use for the interior? Keep in mind that this isn't really going to be looked at from the outside. It's not going to be that visible except through the windows. I mean, we will be trying to use a lot of stone on the outside, but I think I need to tear this down. I think the inside is going to have to be planks. Now, we'll keep this main archway stone because it is visible from the outside. So maybe that's where we're going to want to keep that. But the rest of this, I'm having second thoughts. I think we need to actually make planks for this place. All right, so now that we're back inside the building, we need to fill this up. How's that look? I think that looks kind of neat. I think that might work. Yeah? Okay, so it kind of gives like that royal kind of clean look on the inside as well. And you know what? Did we grab the bone block? I'm not sure. Oops. But now that I'm seeing that, I think I might want to indent the door. And not only that, but also replace this one block with a stone brick. There we go. That means like we can put the door on this side. Just like that. And even though it's flat here, when you come up to the main entrance, you can see that it's fully... It's like another level. It's just makes it interesting. And I'm going to put stairs on that. But this can be flat because it kind of gives it that level. And then, do I have any stairs on me? No. Let's make some spruce wood stairs. Spruce wood stairs, like that. Alright, cool. And then we can actually put this up here just like that. Look at that. That looks really cool. Then we can put, we can put stuff up on here. We can put stuff up on here. Now, for the outside, I'm thinking maybe doing that. We'll put some windows. From the top, we are going to do this. And the reason why we're putting this in the correct position is because when we look out from the outside, from the inside it looks pretty plain, but from the outside you have this kind of like gap on the bottom, gap on the top. It's like a separation and it makes it look really, really nice. Alright, so here are the last few spruce wood stairs that are going in place, and I messed up. I put that one upside down. There we go. Alright, so we have basically the window space set in place. However, this back wall, I think we're just going to fill up with spruce wood planks. Because really, why put a window back here that we're just not going to utilize? Why would you want to stare at a brick wall? Oh man, I can't put down blocks anymore. That now means that we got a back wall where we can actually hang stuff up. The rest of it is viewable space. And I'm thinking, guys, what if we did something like this to hide the white on the inside? Huh, guys? What if we did something like that? How about a cobblestone wall? I actually kind of like that better. It kind of brings in a little bit of the outside, a little bit of foundation. It's definitely unique, I guess, because, well, where else have you really seen this? And it creates kind of like an interesting wall to work with. So we're going to do that all around. That way we can hide the white, because I think the white is a little too contrasty for the interior. We want the interior to be a bit warmer on this build. We want it to be cozy-ish. It doesn't matter if it shows up through the window. That's kind of the point, I guess. And we're actually going to remove this. We don't need to go up quite just yet. You have your little foyer, you come in, you're like, ooh, interesting. And we can actually put our stairs maybe here that leads up to the upper room. That way it doesn't look as strange. Or maybe we can put, yeah, maybe we can curve the stairs up this way. It'll kind of give us a purpose to have this room kind of curved. This is kind of curved right here at this point because of this corner and that corner. And actually, I need to cover this one up as well. So yeah, that'll be interesting. We have a nice little cozy kind of foyer here. This is where you come in out of the rain, put down your umbrellas, and you know what I just realized? We didn't do the stairs here. We need to actually do this here as well. So now we need to officially kind of create the stairs, because what we have to do is actually create, well, we need to create the next level. Ooh, I'm kind of hitching a bit again. Now the stairs, I'm thinking we may want to use the stone stairs, stone steps, which I don't have, so we'll have to make some more. Okay, I had a stack of bricks there. We'll use this. Or can we use slabs? Okay, to make this foyer a little bit more unique, what I'm actually going to put is a slab here so that it's at door level in case we decide to put a door there. But I'm also going to put a slab here. Now that kind of gives us a little bit of a gap between the blocks, which kind of makes the structure a little bit more interesting. But we have a nice little foyer here. We'll probably put like a little bench or something. You know, maybe, I don't know, an immediate crafting table. I have no idea what we'll put there. We can actually put the crafting table in the center. We got to think of something, but you know, the foyer room essentially is built. We just have to add windows and a little bits of decor, which shouldn't be that bad. So now we're here, the interior, and we're going to try to mimic a stairway. Now the stairway is going to be 3 blocks wide, so that kind of gives us a nice little entryway here. Now if we did 4, it still wouldn't be that bad. And it kind of gives for a nice wide stairway. But if we were to start that here, that's actually not too bad. The thing is, we have to think about how to expand this. So if we did half slabs the entire way, that's going to be really, really interesting. So this is our little corner. We need to think about how we're going to do this. How do you make half slabs? So we have to actually bring this back. This is going to have to be brought back to here. Right? So that's the level where it turns. So we can eliminate this, we can eliminate this and this. That means that that's going to be a corner there. In fact, that's probably where the stairs would actually start. Now that's kind of wide, so what I might have to do is actually tone this down. So we're going to remove a lot of these slabs right now. I may have to just get rid of this and these. And it still doesn't look that bad, actually. Yeah, that actually looks quite nice. I like it. It's sufficient. And then we can actually start building in the stair kind of railing. Right? And for these that are exposed like that, we can actually tie it downwards. That way it kind of makes it look like it's still attached without being overly obvious. Now maybe we actually need to bring this out. Maybe we need to bring that out actually, because otherwise it just looks weird. Yeah, it may have to, so we may have to rethink about that. Nope. I guess we need that one there, huh? Does that mean we don't need this one? That's gonna go there, which means we can eliminate this and this. Alright, so moving forward, I think what we can do is just put glass down. So let's see if Lert has any glass. I don't think I do. I don't think I do. Nope, I just have food and other random miscellaneous things. Alright, back to Lert's storage room. Alright, so now we're back, and we need to maybe put down some stuff. So luckily I have this room here. We'll put down some of the saplings, the spruce wood, you know, things that are a little bit redundant at the moment. So I have a lot of stone on me, which we're going to need a lot of, but I think we're good with that. So let's hit this up and actually create some panes, some glass panes. We're using clear. I kind of wanted to go tinted, but honestly, I think clear would probably be the best option. It's not looking that bad. Alright, here we go. This should be the last window on this floor, I think. Good. We have glass filled. It's looking pretty good. We have a stairway, which looks actually pretty amazing. That worked out really well. Now, one of the things we need to do is actually get some spruce wood logs again, because that's what we have on the outside, right? Yep. So let's chop down this tree. Oh, great. I need another axe. They just don't make stone ones like they used to. And I'm surprised I don't have my diamond axe on me. Okay, good. This one grew, so we have a little bit more spruce wood here. Nice. Unfortunately, it's not that much, but we'll work with what we got. So I'm going to go out to the front right now and try to determine how we're going to do this. So we have the logs here, and I think that's kind of where we need to create the interruption. And what I mean by that is we need a spot where we can basically kind of create this. So what's going to happen is we're going to continue this outwards, and we're going to continue it outwards by 1. Except for the front here, I don't know if we want to... If we want to do this, essentially, here. So this is going to give our windows a little bit more depth. I feel like this feels so natural to me for some odd reason, and I've never built in this style. This is amazing. All right, so that's gonna look like, that's actually looking really nice. All right, everyone, check this out. I've managed to basically do the entire exterior. Now, I kind of had a thought. We originally thought to maybe do the interior as well, and it's not a bad idea because it'll show some supports, but I'm wondering, I think that'll actually cause us to build up the floor once more. So in reality, this is almost like a foundation again. These builds are, you know, they're not, man, they're expensive in materials. I want to test something out. Because say we do that. Okay, okay, that's actually not that bad. You do kind of hit your head on the way down. but it's really not that obvious. We just may have to... Where's that coming from? We just may have to do this. We might just have to do the skeletal system of the house, basically. Unfortunately, that's also going to mean a lot more resources are going to get wasted. What this is actually looking like. I'm actually thinking about replacing this with oak wood. It's a little bit lighter, but it's not as light as birch. So that might actually look quite nice. Now the ground floor is stone, and that's kind of stone for a reason, but I wonder if that's too much. Should it be warmer? Should we also have some type of pattern? I don't know. We still have to build and separate the rooms on the interior, but the inside is actually not looking that bad. And if I have any, I do, okay. And I have some, but just barely enough. What I'm kind of thinking is, not at that level. We can actually kind of give this a nice look by wrapping that around like that. It still kind of gives this like a lowered feeling because this is raised somewhat. And then in the center, of course, we can continue the cobble like that. So it gives it like a nice raised feeling still in each segment. That's going to give it a unique look, I think. Again, now for these sections with the windows, it is kind of unique because, well, you have that kind of gap there. But I think that works out to my favor in all honesty. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could create a stair piece there, but I just don't think it's necessary. I think it looks fine the way it is. So we're going to keep doing that as well along all of these different quadrants. And we've got the last kind of quadrant, I guess, as I'm calling them, to go. This is going to be fairly simple. I think we need more slabs. That's what I'm missing. Oh, I got slabs. Alright, good. And we're done. Now, it's starting to look pretty dark down here. Oh. And luckily I have a few torches, but it may not be enough. And I'm actually starting to have this weird hitching issue. Okay, so we took down the spruce wood that we had up here, and we're actually going to exchange this. Oh, I like the fact that that actually changes with that. That's a nice touch. It's a real nice touch. And we're gonna just bring that up like that. Because why not? And I think that actually looks better a lot with the darker color. It matches this color a bit more. The spruce wood was just a bit too light, and oh no, okay, that's fine. We can fix that with some slabs. Just like that. And that way it gives a little bit more of an arch. Just looks really weird in the front. Is anything still up there? I thought something dropped. Okay, so we'll put a slab here, and then what we'll do is put, well, we'll have to go to the outside here and try to hit the top of this slab. Not like that. That's horrible. So we'll take a step back. Yeah, that doesn't look that bad. That looks quite symmetrical, actually, and it kind of mimics this and this, so it's fine. I'll go with that for now, unless I think of a better way to mimic this. And I just had a thought, and I'm gonna test it out really quick. What if? Oh, I got a little. Little bump there. Oh, I guess it would have to be on the outside to be continued, right? Yep, looks like it. So if I then do this from here, it does it on the outside. What do you guys think? Does that look better? I think the only thing is it makes that look weirder. The gap is it's like on a corner, a really weird corner. So I don't necessarily like that. I think we're just going to go back to what we originally had, which seems to be working out a little bit better. And I managed to do that again. Okay, so what I'm doing is actually placing dirt blocks along the back here because this is a tight area. I can't stand above it because, well, these upside down stairs are in my way. I could simply destroy it, but I don't know if the plot actually goes that wide. I'm not really concerned about it anyway, so what I can do is just put dirt blocks there, and then what I'll do is I'll move to the back side where I can later just jump up and put some stone brick stairs upside down like I did here. So all I need to do is just carefully jump and do that. And then with stone brick blocks, we can continue the border along the inside. Now for the next level, I'm actually going to be using the oak wood blocks. Eventually, I'll change these out to slabs just to make sure that nothing really spawns on the inside, because supposedly nothing spawns on slabs. And this will give a nice warm but fresh interior color aside from all the stone. Now we're going to try to mimic the same kind of patterns that we did on the first floor, and then eventually we'll work on a third floor, which will be inside the roof. So it'll be a unique thing. Unfortunately, this is all the time I have for today. I will be working on this a little bit more behind the scenes just because I'm excited about this one. I want to get this one done, and then we can kind of start to do the interior. So guys, while I keep working on this new style of build, I thank you all for watching. Drop me some likes, subscribe, give me some comments in the comments field. I'd love to hear from you. I try to answer all of your comments. I really appreciate all of your support. You all mean a lot to me. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time in the next episode of Minionland Minecraft. Have a good night, everyone. If you like this video and want to support me even further, consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon and get access to Patreon-only content for just $1 a month. Lastly, please take a moment to visit my extralife.org page. All funds go to research and training, purchase of life-saving equipment, and uncompensated care for kids that are suffering through cancer and other severe illnesses. So any donations that you could send my way are greatly appreciated.